All right, let me bring Rikki, our director of content for all things Glenn Beck and Torch, and in-studio producer, along with Jason, who hosts our Insider behind-the-scenes show every day. Let's talk a little bit about what happened in Texas. Good news, it looks like Proposition 10 passed, which means it's going to the general ballot in November. Is Texas going to pass a law that says no Sharia law ever in Texas? I would say that is a no-brainer, but I'm not sure anymore. Because there's too many people walking around with no brains, apparently. But that passed, so it is going to November. Crockett, it's very disappointing. Crockett lost to Tallarico. Explain, we know who Crockett is. She's nuts. Now she's claiming that it was stolen from her. I don't know who would have stolen it. It wasn't the GOP that would have stolen it, because the GOP, I would have loved to have her run. You have the side of that? Go ahead, play. Here she is.
We should all be standing together, Democrats, Republicans, and we should all be raising hell. But unfortunately, this was always the plan. And so I am grateful for this court order. And as Congressman Allred has already stated, we encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded, because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it.
Who is they? And by the way, did you see any reason she's made any point here, brought up anything that makes you think that there is a possibility of it? 'Cause I know that it exists. Cheating. Is this something we should look into? I mean, I think we should treat all of these equally and look into it. But, what is she claiming?
I don't know, but there were more people who voted in the Texas Senate Democrat primary than the Republican Senate primary, and that is a little concerning. But I have a feeling it was some of our own on our side that were voting for Crockett and created a surge.
I was going to say, if you could have voted for her over Tallarico, I think I would have. I think I would have I'm going to vote for that one. I mean, so I think I have a feeling that was probably a few Republicans voting in that. But we should take it. We should take claims of all cheating seriously. And if there was cheating, then it should be taken care of. Tallarico is a real problem. Do you want to explain a little why Tallarico is so dangerous? Tallarico. Sorry.
It's okay. He's a smooth-talking Presbyterian who is a wolf in sheep's clothing, if you will.
Is he getting his ministerial license?
I know that he was on the way to do that.
Okay.
But he's gotten high-profile appearances with Joe Rogan. Many of the cable news networks on the left love him, but he's all dressed up in socialism. I actually think that they refer to his faith as a Christian version of socialism, if there's such a thing. I know you have a rant on that coming up.
I do.
Jason's laughing. Want to hear why?
Well, I mean, what pisses me off is because he reminds me of like a Raphael Warnock, where we did an entire show on Warnock, where he's just proselytizing at the pulpit there. Socialism and communism, but he will never get accused of being a Christian nationalist, ever. Ever. But neither will Tallarico. They can say whatever the heck they want to and bend the scriptures any way they want to. Never will get accused of that.
Right. Because that kind of religion isn't dangerous. Although that kind of religion is the kind of religion that, leads to 100 million dead in the 20th century. But, don't worry about that. He strikes me as dangerous because there's a thing in Texas where I think Texans see scandal, and they don't like scandal at all. And that, I guess, is a good thing, but not when the scandal blinds you to who the other person is. And Tallarico seems like a very good, smooth talker that can do exactly what happened in Virginia and say, hey, I'm a moderate. I'm just following the words of Christ. I just care about my fellow man. And then next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire who has had all of his money taken by the federal government for some stupid, crazy program.
And I think this is why a lot of people are concerned you might have Cornyn win that runoff against Paxton in May, because he doesn't have a scandal surrounding him, and
Cornyn
Democrats are going to play this up.
Besides his voting
Cornyn
record.
sucks beyond belief. I mean, how are you going to? I mean, I'm going to vote. If I were in Texas. I just switched my voting. But if I would vote in Texas, I would have a really hard time voting for Cornyn. It would take everything in me to check that box for Cornyn. Everything in me to check that box. And the only reason I would do it is because I would know who Tallarico is. And so I would check it. But most Republicans are not going to pay that much attention, and they're going to see this guy as, oh, you know what? I don't really like Cornyn. I'm kind of sick of Cornyn. Here, what has he done lately? We need some fresh blood in there. And this guy seems like a good guy of God. Watch, that's what'll happen.
Yeah.
Tallarico has a good chance of winning.
What pisses me off with Cornyn is he is everything that the entire voting population cannot stand about politics right now. He is the establishment candidate, and he has always survived within the establishment, going back to the Tea Party, where he's voting for bailouts. I mean, he should not have made it past there. It makes no sense to me going all the way up to the Uvalde shooting, where he's trying to use that to push gun laws, red flag laws, things like that. I'm like, how is this guy here? But he is that in-depth to the establishment. But now, if you're in Texas, if you look at all of his campaign ads, every other word is Trump. He is trying to tie himself to Trump so hard. It's like, Cornyn went to the grocery store, bought peas, and Trump. Cornyn went to the park today, slid on the slide, and Trump. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. He's like a cockroach. Never getting rid of him.
You may not, but what's interesting about this is his campaign was the most expensive in Senate primary race history. He spent $125 million and yet is only headed to a runoff. He didn't win handily. You would think with that amount of money behind him, he would have won handily. So it's going to be an interesting May.
If Paxton hadn't have had his scandal that happened, when he was AG and they tried to impeach him and everything else, if he wouldn't have had that, he would have beat Cornyn. But Cornyn spent enough money, and there's enough people going, I'm not sure about Paxton, blah, 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 that it had to go to a runoff. But I'm telling you, Tallarico is a real danger, especially with the way things are running in Texas. I'm telling you, we lose Texas, we lose the country forever. And Texans, wake the hell up. It's not the you know what? You need to move away from Texas and then come back. It's not the Texas that it used to be. It's not. They're moving in from California. What do you think they're going to vote for? You've got to stand up and defend Texas. We're going to lose Texas if we're not careful. Yeah, and it could happen with the primary. I mean, it could happen with the Senate this time around.
Looking at some of the voting trends, it is very, especially if this is a projection to where this is going in other states as more of these elections start popping up. But there's something going on in Texas with voting. You can't even look at my social media right now. Everything popping up is a different group pushing early voting for the left. Something big with funding for that is going on. And if you look at early voting.
Early voting, I was talking to somebody in Washington State the other day, and they said, when the state of Washington turned around, because 2016, it was like the number one state for business, like top three business state. Now, you can't get out of there fast enough if you're a businessman. They're crazy. He said the whole thing really started to turn once they had early voting. Once they did early voting, it was over. And that's why the SAVE Act has to be passed. And, the Save America Act is the one that Donald Trump was pushing, and that's what they're trying to get through. And that includes the early voting and the mail-in ballots and all of that stuff. That's just all got to stop. I mean, we didn't have these problems before. I know it was a hassle that we all had to go to vote on a Tuesday, but we didn't have these problems before. Why are we inventing these problems? We're making it easier and easier and easier to vote. And as we do that, we say, and we're making it really easy for everybody to vote, which makes it safer. Those two things don't go together. They never go together. What are we doing? Also, Chip Roy is now headed for a runoff with Mays Middleton. I don't think we've had Mays on, have we?
We haven't, but I think
We
that was
should.
David Barton's guy.
Yeah, I think it is. We should have him on. Crenshaw, thank God. Crenshaw. Oh, thank God he's gone.
What will happen to his salary, his way of life? How will he be
he'll
able
go
to pay
into
his...
the military-industrial complex. That's what he'll do.
You don't think he can live off of the congressional trading?
Well, yeah, of course he can live off of that. But he'll go into the military-industrial complex. Any doubt on that one, Jason?
Oh, no, 100% that's what's going to happen. The thing that was really piquing my interest on this is not only did Jasmine Crockett take a hit here, but also did you see that Al Green is headed to a runoff? We might be done with Al Green. The scariest thing possible is that the stupid within the Democratic Party looks like it's being targeted big time, and I kind of want the stupid to stay there. They represent their party well.
I'm so torn. I would rather have the stupid than the people who are effective and actually believe in Marxism. So yeah, I would rather have the stupid. Tony Gonzalez, he's in a runoff. Now he had scandals of an affair, and then didn't his girlfriend set herself on fire? Alleged girlfriend set herself on fire.
Yeah, this is trouble. He's headed to a runoff with Brandon Herrera.
Who's MAGA?
He's very MAGA, very two-way. I'm a little interested to see if he's impacted by the affair scandal. What will happen to others who have been impacted, or if they will be impacted by affair scandals?
Don't affairs seem like so quaint now?
So 2016.
Yeah, they're just they had an affair. Now everybody's like, oh no, who hasn't? And you're like, wait, what?
It does seem like voters are more interested in policy these days than
policy.
Yes.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Well, how did we get Trump?
Because they want somebody who's going to disrupt the system. That's what they're interested in. They want somebody that will just do something. And when I say that, they mean a Marxist who will just give me free stuff, or somebody who is not going to be like John Cornyn, John Cornyn, and just do the same old stuff. They're looking for Donald Trump won because, it's really funny. In 2016, actually 2007, I said, if Barack Obama wins, we're going to get a guy who is the guy who sits at the end of the bar and just says something that everybody loves, but they think he's a little nuts. And he might even have a little ketchup stain on his tie because he's just like you. If Obama wins, that's what the next president's going to be because of the pendulum. That was Donald Trump. Okay? Then I said, if Donald Trump wins, you're going to get some sort of a Marxist kind of guy. That's exactly. We didn't get it in the president because he was just a mask. Okay? Then the next thing that we had to get was somebody who was just going to tear down the system. I think this time by 2028, you're going to have a Marxist and hopefully a constitutionalist. But I think we're going to have the choice in front of us. It will be a clear choice. Marxism or capitalism. That's what's going to happen in 2028.
Thank you for thinking for yourself and being part of a movement, because that's really what all of this is. If you want the full story, you want to go deeper, go to blazetv.com/Glenn. Go there right now, sign up, no interruptions, just the truth, uncensored and unfiltered. Don't just watch, take a stand. And I'll see you over there in a minute.